Test, test, test.
I hear you.
Ah, finally, Phillip, you're saying something, man.
Yes. You didn't hear me, did you?
Why done?
Appena di food. Çıkım atladık mı bilmiyorum.
Unde mai avem plus? Zone echipul.
Pensei que tinha bom televisor.
Hi, Boris.
That's tough. Philip, can you say something, please?
Hello, guten Tag. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you on the right screen. Right. It's perfect.
I hope so.
So, weź kunialito tak, żeby?
Popatrz na szybko, bo zaraz.
Just change it. Brother.
Co? Willen niet adderen, hè?
Hey.
Hello to the remote journalists. Can you see us?
I can.
Yeah, that's great. So, okay. I will switch shortly to Albanian. Can use some AI real-time translators. No, I will just say hello. Okay, hello guys. So, përshëndetje. Mirë se keni ardhur, faleminderit shumë që na keni bashkangjitur. Mas pari faleminderit shumë ICK-s, edhe shpendit. Unë jam Astrid Ibrani, by the way. Veç një histori shumë shkurt, këtu bashkë me shpendin edhe ICK-n jam angazhuar personalisht për vitit 2016. So,
Por e ko në është
yeah. Okay, so I just said hello to Albania shortly. I'm, of course, due to the international audience, I'm switching to English. Bear with me. So thanks once again for joining. Thanks to Innovation Centre Kosovo for having us and for giving us their places. By the way, it's not the first time we're doing that since 2017. So glad to be here again and to meet a lot of well-known faces of old friends. Went to the school with them. And so many people. So my name is Astrid Ibrani and I'm one of the founders of CloudAstro. CloudAstro is here in Pristina since April 2021, so 4 years in a row. And also in Germany since almost 3 years, in Munich, and in the United States almost the same since 3 years. So today we would like to share with you some real life AI data and AI solutions. Together with our partner, Starburst, so Phillip from Starburst is joining remotely, and some of our joiners also. And yeah, we are going to give you also a short demo from Boris. So yeah, I will try to keep it short and leave the stage to the colleagues. So yeah, let's start with Phillip. Phillip, you can share your slides and your story. And yeah, we were able to see that. And by the way, before we will start with the remote joiners, and yeah, if you, meanwhile, if you have questions, we just or sharing the meeting chat, so just feel free to write your questions instantly in the meeting chat. We will try to answer them. Then the stage is yours, Philip. Like always, the guest starts the first.
All right, thank you very much, Astrid. Hello to the room and everybody attending. This is Phillip speaking from Germany, close to Berlin. I myself am the enterprise sales lead for the CEMEA region of Starburst, and we are partnering with CloudAstro on asking all your demands on AI and how to engage with it. So let me just as a foresight, if you have questions, I think we should probably answer them after the presentation so we kind of keep in the timing. But let me just jump into the agenda. I'm going to share with you our vision, our platform, the slogan "Data to the Power of AI," which is our current slogan, and some customer use cases. Can you hear me properly, or do I have to get louder? Does that help anything? No, probably not, right?
Can you hear us, by the way?
I can hear you also.
That's great.
The tech seems to work for once. That's not too bad, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
All
right. Then let me just start. In general, our vision is data to the power of AI instantly, because we basically see and saw with our customers and the current developments that the biggest issue behind AI is basically data access. It's all about timing. Our human time span of focus time span is about 7 seconds, and we all know if the answer is not delivered in that proper time frame, we used to get bored, and eventually the AI applications or whatever other application will not get into use properly if not speeded up. So we basically set that up on our 3 pillars, as I already said. It's about data access. We intend to basically provide the data access without any silos. I will share later how we do that. Basically, the idea is instant access to all your enterprise data, no matter where it sits. So it doesn't matter if on-prem, cloud, even in a database, in a storage, but more to that later. On the other hand, data collaboration is an always on and always interesting part, which we try to empower seamlessly to basically create a self-service tool set and encompass a semantic layer. And nonetheless, I think we all know this, working with data for a couple of years, probably all of us. It's data governance. You know, it doesn't matter where you sit. The request or the requirements on data governance are just enormously, and not just from a governmental perspective. It's always you as a customer, you as a company need to make sure the data stays where it is and that your users do what they're supposed to do, just in order to keep that properly. What does the platform look like in general? On the left side, you basically see we can source data from hybrid data sources. More to that later. From a hyperscaler perspective, we sit everywhere, but Microsoft, as you know, working and talking to CloudAstro is a key partner for us. You basically see right here, there's the query ingestion part. You see that little funny logo here you might recognize. We are all about Trino. Trino is our open source MPP query engine and basically the most important part of the solution. On top of this, we have developed certain analytics accelerators, mainly things like warp speed and data products, but more to that later. And finally, the question, what we are here for in general, is the part AI accelerators. That's the new stuff. That's everybody has AI on its mind. Everybody is running some POCs and LLMs, etc. And you basically see right here the focus towards the AI agents and embedded analytics that use AI, plus where we're coming from, anything around BI and ML, as well as the general analytics. But more to that in later slides. What are we seeing? Trends, I think we all been there. We all see that basically AI ML accelerating the data demands. We had that in January in mobility. The availability of everybody everywhere keeps rising, the amounts of data. We have a hybrid multi-cloud as a norm, which basically puts some focus on ideas on how not to copy every data, but more to that later. On the other hand, we have growing use of open source. I'm sure you guys know about the war between Iceberg and Delta as table formats. You know, we think Iceberg won, but that's on everybody else's choice. And in general, you have we keep having an exploding data volume, velocity, and variety. Because I think we are still at a peak of 50% data growth per year. And that just puts on lots of challenges to the IT and to the AI initiatives, because AI is just as good as what you provide. The pains, data stacks struggle to meet the demand. It's just complex, especially in our market, in our region, CEMEA. Most of the customers have what I call the historically grown data architecture with many different data silos, data sources, and usually the data experts waste a lot of time actually finding the data to analyze, but that's what we're here for. Cost is getting out of control. Security demands, compliant risk are growing. I personally just started here at the beginning of the year, and I'm a huge I'm against vendor lock-in, and that's what I really like about Starburst, because our slogan or our mantra is to enable customers to connect and use what they want to and not what we tell them to. And I think that's really important nowadays, especially when you're into data analytics. And the next part is everything about open source. You know, it's a good idea if it's in a test dev environment, but I would never recommend doing an enterprise environment based on open source. The investment will seem low, but keeping things up will be expensive. But you know, I'm sure we all had experiences in that matter. So, paying cost, current data platform options. We started back in the days, not just BigQuery and Snowflake. You can take the on-prem Teradata, whatever you want to call it. Classic data warehouses were huge in performance. That's why they were implemented in the first place, but general, very costly. Then we basically came up with the data lake, not just ADLS, there are more, you know that, any S3 storage, and take the other hyperscalers as well. There you have a cost advantage, but a lack of performance. And down the road, basically, Databricks opened the idea of the data lakehouse to meet both, but Databricks brings a couple of problems. It is a proprietary engine. It is cloud only. It has limited distributed data access, and eventually not good for Iceberg at all. So what are the shortcomings? What are the outcomes out of this? You basically have a lock-in in general. If you're cloud only, you reduce deployment options because you hardly have access to whatever is on-prem, and it's always difficult to work in multi-clouds because you have to move, you have to copy, and you have egress costs everywhere, sitting everywhere. The limited distributed data access basically leads to another problem, especially in the AI area, because you cannot, the data you cannot connect to, you cannot analyze, and AI and our making decisions data-based grows with the more data you can access, the more data you can analyze, the better is your result. And we say, as it's not best for Iceberg, from our point of view, it's not future ready because we think that Iceberg basically made its pass through and will be the data format of data format of choice. So you basically lack performance, cost, agility, and innovation. So this is where why we came up with the data stack of the future, not just lakehouse. It's got to be open, hybrid, and it's got to be open and hybrid. Just give me a second. What do we, or what does that data stack have to include? It has to have the performance of a warehouse, the cost of a data lake. Open source engine, as I said, is really important in the data analytics space. You have to be the best engine for Iceberg at scale. And basically the last two parts are where one of our advantages sits. It's a fully distributed data access, and you got to be deployable on-prem, cloud, hybrid, multi-cloud. Basically, wherever you are, we can help you to analyze your data. So now let's come to our heart. Our heart is Trino. It is the open source query engine. It separates compute and storage. This basically gives you a cost advantage because the costly part is compute, not storage, and we can optimize that as well. And as a fourth point, Iceberg is basically designed for Trino, so you have advantages there as well. Why is Trino important? I think two reasons here. On the one hand, you have the community, which basically gives you as a customer the assurance that the company or we will not just go and do what we think. We are always kind of driven and supported and you know, in discussions with the open source community, we see what is going on there. We have to adapt to what their demands are. So you as a customer keep or have the assurance that we will stay open, which basically gives you the not vendor lock-in and it gives you ability to, you know, whenever you want, do whatever you need with your data because it sits within your clusters, not ours. And on the other part, I think why we what's also really cool is just look at, you know, where Trino is deployed. You know, and Netflix is analyzing 25 petabyte, but I think the most outstanding here is basically LinkedIn. You know, we're talking about an exabyte of data, 100 petabyte weekly, 1,200 nodes, and they are analyzing 2.5 million queries a week, just leveraging Trino. So basically, this should give you the assurance. You know, if there's any question on scale or concurrency, that's the massive parallel processing engine of your choice. So Starburst is an open hybrid data lakehouse. That's the stack. We start on the bottom with data connectors, ingestion, fast and easy data access, which from my perspective is the most important part. You have to enable your users to get to the data as soon and as quick as possible. The more data you can analyze, the better are your results. On top of this, we created the enterprise platform, which is basically, we added enterprise security, scalability, governance, usability. This is all powered by Trino. And on top of that, what I already kind of shared for the BI accelerator part, we have things like data products, warp speed, and more analytics productivity tools to basically give you an overall better experience to, you know, supply the data to the users you intend to. Two options how to use Starburst. One is via Starburst Enterprise, which basically a self-managed platform. Galaxy is the software as a service solution. Now we're coming to the advantage or the USP from my personal perspective, not just mine. That's just how it is. The difference we can bring to the table is basically we have integral connectors to 50 plus different data sources. That means you cannot. We really live the federation approach. You can basically, when you implement when you implement Starburst, you can connect to the data sources that you basically have. The idea is to create a data lake. That's one thing, but usually customers are not at the stage that they can start greenfield. They have an infrastructure, they have an architecture. So the advantage here is you connect the dots, and we as Starburst help you read the data at its source, because that's another very important part. We analyze at the source of the data. We don't copy. This gives you an advantage on the GDPR issues, because there is none. We don't copy data, so you don't have to worry about it. Why are we still adding performance? It's the MPP part in Trino. You know, we have the possibility to use every core to analyze the same data. That's how we generate speed to your data analytics, or to your query to querying the data. You know, this down here is basically just an idea. We have more than that, but you know, we can't fit 50 different logos down here. So that's what we want to give you. Want to show here. Starburst itself, it's the global security end-to-end encryptions. That's for sure. Data masking, query auditing, and access control. I myself love the idea about the access control here. You can just connect your AD and then use our internal role-based access control to dig down to the file and make sure who does what, when, where, and why. You always know. And nowadays, I think that's a really key feature in the analytics space. Yeah, on top of here, the analytics engine, which is basically Trino, you have data products, fault-tolerant execution, query optimizing, auto-scaling, indexing, different metrics and loggings that basically gives the speed and gives you the possibility to set up your queries and then push it to whatever data usage tool. That's what I call it. And you can basically leverage whatever speaks JDBC, RDBC, ODBC, or REST. That's in general, but the one shown here, we have native connectors as well. Starburst fits well in an open hybrid stack. That's just an overview to give you the idea. As we stated earlier, or as I stated earlier, we are open source committed. That's basically how we sit, where we sit. Yeah, you see down here Iceberg Delta Hoodie. We don't care. You can use whatever open table format you want. We are capable of working with it. You can use all the open file formats. And in general, whatever speaks S3 is compatible to us. And on top over here, from a global federated access, all these data sources we have, plus everything that, as I said, that speaks ODBC, JDBC, or REST. Yeah, this is just a small overview from a use case perspective. I'm just in general usually saying whatever you can do with data, we can help you with. Most likely are actually use cases in the financial area because we are pretty good in that area. I think we have 10 out of the 15 biggest banks worldwide are a customer of ours. Is basically because of the federational aspect, the connectors, and the security we can include. We have it within our solution. So money laundering is a nice anti-money laundering is a use case that's run very often. Anything with fraud detection, risk management. You call it customer 360, partner 360, product 360. This is what we do. That's just a peak of who's customers and who we are working with. It's way more, but I'm usually trying to keep it down because the number itself is quite long already. Yeah, do you have any questions to hear? Let's pause for a question. If not, I would move on.
Yeah, just a short remark. Citibank is missing. I saw that you have a success story with Citibank.
Look here.
Yeah, it's there. Oh, sorry. I didn't see it.
Yeah, but Citibank is actually a good remark. You might have seen that on LinkedIn. They just announced yesterday that they invested in us. We signed the contract with them, but they also decided to invest in Starburst because of the strategic technological partnership, or to underline that. So that was great news for us. Right, then let me just jump into our AI or new AI strategy. I gotta say something beforehand. We have a big release, a public release on May 28th. So I can't say everything right now, but I will provide the slides to Astrid, and he can share them afterwards if you like. But just check on LinkedIn for us. That's a public virtual announcement on May 28th. Sign up, join. It's going to be interesting, trust me. What's the goal? The goal is basically just as before, and that's the great thing behind it. What we now do with AI is nothing new for us. That's what we've been done all the time. It's basically about building secure data and AI or support building those secured and AI and data and AI applications to accelerate value, reduce operational complexity, and reduce the cost of scale as well. How do we do that? The idea behind it is fairly easy. We try to simplify the deployment of AI in general. Just to give you a brief idea, we are working on enabling the LLMs to basically access the SQL directly, so we can scale quicker towards the data, because as I said in the beginning, for AI, it's more important than others. It is dependent on what you get or what you provide for data. So basically, you have to provide the right or create the right data at the right time in the right format to push your LLMs, your agent AI, agent AIs to push for the right answer as quick as possible. And that only works if you can ease the data access. And that's what we've been doing. Now we are moving towards data AI more and more. So that means, we connect LLMs, we add RAG search, we will add vector databases, etc., etc. It's just an idea. But the idea in the second part, gathering data, no migration for AI. Just imagine in an old environment, you basically have to fetch the data somewhere, push it to a place where you can analyze it, and then push it to the using application. This is what we are easing, because we are basically, we sit in between, we ease data access, we give you the possibilities to keep the data where it is, access the data quickly, and push the results back to your agent. And as I already said, we're going to fine-tune, or we're going to support fine-tuning AI models by RAG-based applications. And in general, we wanted, because for AI, it's the same issue as with everything else. In general, you have to scale properly to keep the cost efficiency aligned, because there's always a budget behind it. And if you leverage Starburst as a platform to ease data access and data control, it will help you scale in a different way than just doing it step by step and use case by use case. Because that's just as a statement, you got to see Starburst as a platform, because we can add and help you in so many different use cases. And the more use cases, the better the scalability. So we are supporting, as before, BI and MA use cases. We are now adding RAG and LLM or agentic AI, agentic apps plus AI ready apps. So basically, we try to, move toward that step without adding a new version of accelerators for those AI applications. As I said, more on that next week. Honestly, that's just that's sadly how it is. But we have that applied already, and I'm going to show you how we do this. We're basically supporting LLMs, fine-tuning RAG, AI agents and applications. That means we are basically pushing towards the whole AI value chain in order to harness the data and power your AI intention. What does this mean? We're basically bridging the enterprise data to LLMs. We are accelerating fine-tuning. We intend to streamline AI agent development in real time and with trusted data products. And just keep that AI agent idea in mind if you are able to join next week. There is really interesting features coming, and they're not coming by the end of the year. They're all in private preview, especially for the AI agents. And the applications up top are just what we all use. I think in our daily work right now is the AI infused applications. So we are basically positioning ourselves as our iSource architecture able to, we are positioning us to support all 4 of them and not just a few. But keep in mind, we are not creating our own LLMs. We help you we will give you the connectors or the connection possibility to the LLM of your choice. This is how the data platform looks in the future, or actually now. You've seen this part. That's not new. That's always the most important part. But as I said, we are adding these AI accelerators to really push the data as quick as possible to your agents of choice, to your AI use case of choice. And as I said earlier, I think the most important part here is the platform idea. If everything runs through us, you eased your architecture, you eased your data security, you eased your data governance, and you just make data more available. because over here it's basically the main issue for most customers is that the data scientists and data analysts use like 70% of their time to find the data that they intend to analyze, but that's not the idea, and we help to shift that to actually towards 70-80% of actually being productive and analyze the data, push the data to your AI agents, and help your customers and your companies to get more productive and get more revenue in the end of the day, because that's what it's about, I would say. Just as a closer, to show you that it's not something we intend to do, we already have customers that are actually working on that. Halliburton is basically one of the early adapters that leverage the advantage of the federation, because they have 13 different business units with real-time insights to us, and integrated that to their AI model. And the idea behind this was, behind that project, was to connect all those different data sources, make the data available. On the other hand, HSBC, I think, is really important. Is a really cool use case in that part, because we basically help them to execute their LLMs like 20 times faster. And also Rippling and Vector are moving just into the same direction. They applied AI first already, and as I tried to show you, the idea of Starburst, how we help AI, how we accelerate AI, is with new features on the one hand, but on the other hand, basically what we've been doing at all time, and that is helping you making data more accessible and available to your users. And that's it. Thank you very much. Let me know if there are questions, but here, do me a favor, if you have time, join our Launch Point event on May 28th. And if you have any questions further than that, please reach out to the guys and to the teams of CloudAstro. They are happy to help.
Thanks a lot, Philip. So happy to have you remote, but I hope next time soon in Pristina. So
invite
you
me.
have to visit this country, so you won't regret it.
No, next time, anytime, give me a little advancement, and I'm happy to join you guys. Yeah. Physically.
Thanks a lot. So looking towards the joiners here, actually, of course, remote also, but also here in the room. Does anyone have some questions? Feel free. Raise your hands. Put your questions towards Phillip in regards of the Starburst offerings, data platform solutions. If you may have them afterwards, also you want to do in one-on-one or 1 and 3. We're still some 1.5 hours here, I think, Sven, right? More than 1 hour. We are here always. So thanks a lot, Phillip. I will just add a couple of words and then hand over to Boris, where he will start with real life demo. So what I learned also, so first of all, just to mention, CloudAstro is, I think, the third partner of Starburst, third or fourth partner in Germany. So that's very interesting. And compared to the other partners, you're way smaller. So that's actually great. And working with Phillip and his colleagues is also great, because they are also supporting smaller companies like us. I mean, if I compare to other partners. What I learned from Starburst is AI is as good as you put the data in. So everyone is talking about AI and so on, but if I may use this word, shit in, shit out. So if you bring in that data, then don't expect a good AI. So very simple, actually, right, Phillip?
Exactly. That's what I intended to say. It's all about data availability and data access.
Yeah. And our approach as CloudAstro is actually we are doing the first proof of concepts. We're going to show just right now, also with Starburst together. And we are having kind of different approach. Maybe you heard about this approach from Palantir. It's a very well-known, successful big company. So they're bringing, if I may take their example, we are doing similar the same. They're bringing their engineer and consultants to the customer on field. So this is exactly what we are doing. We are not experimenting on building some products. So we are learning from our customers. We will show right now with one of our customers, Share Airlines, Swiss Albanian company, by the way, half Swiss, half Albanian. Well, the CEO is Albanian. We are building use cases with them on site. So real new AI use cases and learning from them and then going live. So this is our approach. And later, of course, hopefully we will be able to build our own products also. So this is the CloudAstro approach. Thanks a lot once again, Phillip, and handing over to Boris. And I hope your demo will work. You know how it is with demos.
I hope so. You never know.
Thank you. Yeah.
Give me a microphone, please.
You can use it.
Yeah.
I just turn it off.
Turn it on. Okay. I feel like I have to sync now with this device. Okay, guys. So my name is Boris Zaikin.
Boris, would you like to share the screen? You're in the Teams?
No,
Teams?
I don't want to share.
That's also okay. It's not necessary.
So,
But we use this term, sharing is caring.
okay, got it. So, can you see my screen now? I hope. So my name is Boris Zaikin, and I'm the data and AI lead at CloudAstro. So here, Astrid and Phillip mentioned a lot of stuff about data and AI platform that they are building, but I want to just show what's the current problem of AI solution. Everyone said about AI like a buzzword, right? So no one really understands what does AI means. So AI everywhere, yeah. But the first thing what AI coming is about LLM. So it's a large model system, and everyone try to put LLM in their business because of ChatGPT and other solutions. This causes a lot of cost issues because the problem of large model is large. Yeah, so you have to pay for hardware acceleration. It's cost a lot of money, a lot of electricity, and here is important to understand that you need always check your business case. What is inside your business case? Usually, the business using only 10% of this LLM. And paying like €1,000. So this is the important to understand that you and we as a business need to lower the cost and use only the small models, which is the part of the ML. And you need to always check how many data you have. If it's just a few megabytes, terabytes, it makes no sense to use such a large models. So here I will say how CloudAstro, along with our partners, Starburst and of course Microsoft, because we're using cloud from Microsoft, we cannot get rid of it, unfortunately.
No,
fortunately, yeah. Yeah. So that's why I would like to say what is the AI solution accelerators. Don't mix up with hardware accelerators, it's something different for next meetup. So yeah, and AI solution accelerator is the project, it's a template which Microsoft provides you to spin up your AI solution very quickly. It includes UI, it includes data model, and it includes infrastructure already. So along with Starburst, along with the Microsoft, we are building several use cases. But before, this is the top list of Microsoft accelerators, where you can use and deploy and check the use case. For example, the third one is retail. Yeah, so it's about the small company which selling products and using only the small model for their business. And you can try to train the small model with your data, with a test data, and see how it will works.
And use Starburst to connect the data.
Exactly, and use Starburst to connect it. We will come to this. So first, this is our use case. So this is the simplified diagram of the architecture of our own platform that we built along with Starburst for Chair Airlines. So as you can see, the first layer is always a data source. So this is where the data come from. It's a databases, it's a CSV files, it's a file system, it's a lot of. And Starburst solution allows you to gather this data from multiple sources really quickly. Also, you can connect it with Azure Data Factory, and you need to prepare your data, or you can keep it directly in Starburst, or you can move it to a data lake. So a data lake is already pre-prepared data base, so to say, data storage for training your model according to your needs. Yeah. So, for example, in this case, we're using Azure machine learning, and we're using the small models for catering, for cost optimization, for delivering cost lines for Chair Airlines, and yeah. So this is the small but important part. And after Azure machine learning, it should be API or something like Tableau or Power BI, where you see the outcome of machine learning trainings. So yeah, so the outcome of all this stuff is basically cost savings. It's the best data integration and fast model training. The second one, what is the model training? How we can use this? So basically, for example, Azure provides you data search or AI search. It's just a simple index. You can upload your document, connect to the OpenAI service, as well presented. Just PDF the document, you upload it, and then it's OpenAI already understand and know that this is your data. It's inside Azure search, and you can create a chat with your own data. So you ask the chatbot, tell me about this and that.
And most importantly, stay within your own subscription with your
Exactly,
own
yeah.
tenant, so not everyone can
Yeah.
have access, unless you give access and so on.
Yeah, it's important in Germany to mention.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
Data protection.
no data leaving out of Germany.
Yeah.
And here you see a simple diagram, very simple, yeah, but just yeah, very simple. Yeah, it's how Microsoft presenting. But what you just need to understand here is just it's about just 2 or 3 services: OpenAI, data search, and your data. Documents, blob storage, it can be integrated everywhere with the bot services and UI. So let's finally come to the demo.
I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, just I have to start from it. Yeah. So
Thanks a lot.
Boris, thank you for simplifying for me.
yeah, that's the
Thanks a
purpose. If you cannot explain it simply, then you not understand stuff, right? Yeah, so this is the here one of the Microsoft Accelerator I just created it quickly. You can also do it. I will show you a little bit of code, but I uploaded some document of our so to say requirements for the engineer, and let's try to.
Interested to see what you uploaded.
No, not something personal. I also want to see what I did.
It's in your own subscription. It's all good.
Yeah. So let's ask. Tell me about the solution. Architect.
It's okay if I interfere solely. So
Yeah.
just to mention that this, what we are showing here, are of course not private solution or meant for businesses, for enterprises, and it's not the same story like going into ChatGPT and writing some stuff there. So here, it's an isolated environment with your own data. This is what business requires, right? So of course, a lot of business use ChatGPT also, but what we are showing in this demo is data within an Azure subscription or Azure tenant. This words are helpful for you. And Boris uploaded a couple of documents, for example, and you chat with your own data, but this remains everything closed and stored. Simple, if you just take your basement, you have some servers in your basement, and it remains there, so it's your own data. So by uploading data, your documents into ChatGPT, the risk is always there that,
Can you do this
everyone is
with voice? Can you do it?
Yeah, you
Yes,
can use
you can do this.
Boris can explain that better,
Yeah. This solution actually can be integrated with the voice, also with the bot services, so you can easily. Huh?
Yeah.
Different
Almost
languages
ready
or
No, different. All languages support, even dialects. Bayerish, for example, supported. You can use it as well. Also,
So we can do in Albanian, right?
exactly. Yeah. As you can see, I just uploaded before the call just a simple PDF with the requirements for one of the requirements to our engineers that we are looking for the type builder. And I just I asked him to explain what requirements we have. Yeah. And you see, he's providing all this small information that I asked for and providing the links to the document I uploaded. So this is how you can, you see, how you can, so this was the full document about interview task and requirements, and the answer was like this. So this is the one, the way.
Sorry, I can do in the future the sales offering on my own, just putting all the sales document there, and then
Exactly.
while I'm sleeping, just saying create my new offer.
Exactly. And it supports voice, it supports integration with the Teams, so you don't have to write your own voice chat. You can just integrate with the Teams and use a voice comment there. So it's so how this works. So this is the.
I have a question. What type of data can you use to train it? Like, is it only documents, or can you use video, for example?
Yes, it can be used video. It takes time, but you need to connect, upload video to the storage, and upload or use the search directly. So this is the Azure AI
it
search.
does the transcription and everything from the video.
It can be also, it's possible as well, yeah. Microsoft or they have open source tool that you can use for video as well, to do this with video, yeah. Yeah, so how this actually works, how I uploaded this document, just quickly. So this was this. Yeah.
This is very simple.
Very simple. You see? Keep it simple.
Yeah, this is very simple.
Yeah. So, but I mean, for technical people here, it's just yeah. So this was where you can put your data, and then Azure Search will pick up it from here and will put it as an index. So as a Azure AI Search is like the connected to OpenAI model, and when you upload your document data, video file, voice, whatever, it trains. So it's called RAG service. It trains. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question is, if I would ask, for example, how to cut my hair, for example,
yes,
in that chat, will it respond to it or not?
Let's
my
try.
Question is how you isolate API so you have that cost-effective isolated, specifically for your business solutions.
So in this case, it will be insulated out of the internet. So
okay, so you have a local machine learning.
Let's try.
Okay.
What was your question? How to what?
How to cut my hair at home.
At home or office?
Home.
Okay.
Here.
I don't know. So like a human.
Here.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Boris, just here.
Okay. Just here. Just here.
Could be something, how to cut my hair, could be something.
Okay.
I'll cut my hair.
Something else.
Yeah, okay.
Boris,
Question.
I don't know how long you have worked with Albanians, but we have a tendency to mind each other's business, and I also have a security background. How do you make sure that when
I can answer how long I work with
the question is, how do you make sure that data stays segregated between the company, within the company, so that when you search, you don't have access to your boss's data that you shouldn't have access to?
It's, from him, it's impossible. From us, yeah. But answering your question is basically it depends on how you set up your environment. So you can allow ChatGPT mix your data with the normal OpenAI service. So then it will use answer with your data plus internet, or you can even enable feature search. Same as you're doing with ChatGPT, basically.
Yeah. I meant more if you're a company and you have both finances and HR, and you're putting all the data into your solution, you want your finance person to have access to finance data, your HR person to your HR data, you shouldn't have access to anything, even though you can have access to a solution.
It's based on RBAC principle, role-based access control. You are like plugin and use, you can create a scopes for specific documents, for specific charts. It's configurable. Yeah.
So there are differences. I, as a former cloud solution architect, I was almost a solution architect, but I didn't have the exam. No, but there are built-in role-based access control in Azure, as you know, which you can cut the services. But then you have within Starburst, for example, if you use the data connector from Starburst, you have their data governance also, and then you can manage that within after you connect the data, you upload that the data access. So there are multiple places where you manage the access. So, correct me if I say something wrong. I still want to stay near to the technology, man. I'm just not just a sales guy.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there is always two components between your data and outcome of AI. It's the tool or solution that gather the data, like a Starburst. It can be data factory. It can be extract, transform, load. So you need to prepare data to some data lake. The file system called like Parquet, where you just grab all data from you and put it on the one table. And then you need to do this several trainings on specific topics, like For example, Azure ML has models, small models for food, for example, only for this purpose. But and you can train with several sessions only for catering, for sales, for other services as well. Because the trend now, I see that all companies, they just doing this Llama, the huge model, they on premises, and they paying money, a lot of money for this, and they just using only 5% of it.
Boris, it's okay if I interact?
Yeah.
Or let's if I interact together. So actually, we did that also in the beginning.
Yeah, I wanna.
We used also Llama until we paid, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 euros for a big model, which was totally useless and nonsense actually in the beginning, because it's so huge and you have to use the right one, that piece as Boris. This is what we are trying actually to show. So we were using that with Open Telecom Cloud, so we work also with other cloud providers, not with only with Microsoft Azure, but Open Telecom Cloud is sovereign German cloud, more in the Western, in Germany, and Germany, Austria, and Netherlands and Swiss guard. So we learned also from our mistakes this years back. And our focus is actually right now with Microsoft Azure, we are using the power of cloud services because they are already there. You don't need to do a rocket science, at least for our use cases, for our approach. Others may have another approach. And we are taking these LLMs which are small enough. Maybe there is not for every use case or purpose, of course, a particular LLM, but for a lot of them is already there. And then you have your cost under control. Otherwise, you will spend huge amount of money and will go out of control.
I know exact number. We left this VM with a GPU just for several days. 1.5K Astrid have to pay. Then we should. Exactly.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. Get headache.
Yeah. That's it, guys. So, any question?
Yeah, I have a question about the temperature of the search. I want to ask if the temperature is static or is it based on the particular searches that the user gives. But I mean, is it always 0.3 or whatever you guys have, or is it based on whatever the user search and then that can be changed?
It can be changed, it's configurable here, so you can change it, you see? There is all information, you see? Temperature, so you can configure it. But I've just uploaded one document to test. So if I change it, it will not reflect on any changes.
Yeah, I understand that. I just meant that basically will the temperature adjust automatically based on the user search. So basically, if a user searches for something that requires, the system understands that the search requires something that is more creative to make the temperature higher and to make the temperature lower whenever something is more formal, let's say.
In general, yes. In this particular case, you have to set up it because this is just an example. But in general, yes, you have to. It will be done automatically. Based on the document set you are uploading. For video, the results will be different, of course. So it depends. Video, audio. So. Yeah.
Are you able to upload documents in the chat, or is it only in the backend?
Yes, you can do it on the both ways, on the both sides, so in the chat and here it's just a directory and the solution I showed here. Yeah, called data. And when you run AZD up, it's an Azure development environment. Then it will automatically pick up a document inside this directory. You see it says how many documents skipped, how many documents uploaded. And and then it will put it in Azure search and make this binary tree, but I don't want to say about this. Yeah, magic happen. Yeah.
Do you use your technology in Kosovo in some companies or not yet?
No, we don't have any plans for Kosovo. Just so, but we have our offices in the city center since 4 years in the company. So we use, of course, the tools from ourselves. Actually, we need to use that a little bit more. We just need to take more time and use it as more internally, as we are doing. But there is still also a lot of but more potential, so to say. But not with the clients here. So most of the clients are in EMEA.
Here is a use case about Chair Airlines. It's
yeah, well, it's a Swiss, Albanian Swiss company, but they are located in Sweden.
Ah, okay. So close.
Very close.
The headquarters is in Zurich.
How do these features that you're describing with chat compare to notebook LLM?
You mean the small LLM or?
Like when you're showing the chat feature, and you can load your sources of information, and then you can ask questions about it. How does this compare with notebook LLM? Or Google?
First of all, it's not. It's a little bit different. So notebook LLM, it's the LLM for everything. Yeah. So it's not just for your data. It's for all data in general. But the principle is the same. So you have a document. You are setting up the small LLM. The purpose of the small LLM is just upload on your laptop and check how the model will work. But issue from this LLM, they have a low context, really low context. So it's the memory is really teeny. So it's like stupid guy. So you tell him, and then after the third question, he will forget. But if you use the chat GPT, it can even remember your chat from 1 month ago, and you ask him, oh, could you please use the use case from the chat we've been talking about with you 1 month ago, and I would like to add some stuff here. And this is a difference between this LLM, small LLM, and
I think there are also another difference because it's smart. The notebooks LLM from Google, you can run that very fast in your notebook. That's okay, and you can for sure chat with your own documents and data, but you don't have them. Yes, it's a different story by using LLMs in the cloud, right? Because you have the interaction of using other services and connecting other services, like from Starburst and other data collectors, which you somehow can do it also in a notebook, but not with the power, because not a notebook, I'm just taking the example you're running on your personal device, has limitation on the power, right? On the RAM, on the CPU, and so on. So there are also, from the hardware perspective, and from the,
it's a very limited and cutted version.
Which for some personal use case may be the right one.
Yeah, and
but actually, or aim is what you are showing next to the more from enterprise level for this.
Here is a mostly particular use case. It's about you asking question, so you're using a language to your document. It's not searching to internet and it's just you are talking to your documents. So to say. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a normal question you asking for your own data. So it's not even LLM itself. It's just allowing the options to understand your language to ask the question. So the purpose of this use case is basically when organization has a lot of documents in the different places. You can easily use the chat to ask something that you need to find quick information from your documents from different sources. That's the purpose.
I hope this answers the question. So any other questions? Feel free.
Okay, I can ask one.
Yeah.
Which part would it take most of the time to create something like this for the company? Is it about like the data gathering, all the information? Is it about like when do people get into the job and go out and the files and everything? Or is the instructions you are going to give to the LLM, for example, you need to act in this way, they ask you, maybe this is not the case, but actually mean, is the gathering the data more time consuming or actually forming the instructions so the LLM can give responses as soon as possible?
First, you need to understand your use case. What are you doing? Why you? Maybe you don't need even LLM. Yeah. So, what's the use case? What's the you're doing? So, if you just need consolidate your data, you don't need to even use this LLM. But in general, yeah, you need to. If you have already use case, then you need to allocate your data sources and use the tools like a Starburst together, but it will be aligned with the use case. So we built, for example, the table, just a simple table where we have a particular use case, data, and where it will goes to ML, to the model, the small one, not LLM, but the small one. So for particular use case, it's always model that will analyze this data and provide, like you have a lot of data related to food, to catering in your restaurant, and you need to say a model to provide your customer some new solution, what the food, what they like, what they don't like, and LLM will use this information to provide some inputs. And then you need several adjustment trainings. Yeah, that's basically. But it's all about use case. No use case like. Then it's.
So that's why I believe actually what I see also outside there is very crucial to know first of all what you want.
Yeah.
It's always helpful in life, even for other things. Know what you want, know what your use case, or what actually are your challenges, and what are your problems, or what kind of problems you want to solve. And then build the use case, and afterwards go and then use the power of cloud and ML or LLMs or whatever. So this should be the scenario. And a lot of customers we see in the Europe, Western countries also, they just stop using, I want to use AI, yes, but for what? Maybe you don't even need it. You're spending a lot of money for nothing. So, yeah.
I'm using a lot of use cases related to food, maybe because I want to eat.
You're hungry now? Yeah, hungry. Me too. One more question. We are done almost.
Yeah, one more question from.
Yeah, go ahead. Since we're talking about use cases, maybe we can take an example use case where you can suggest on how you would build an environment around that. Let's say for a mobile company, a phone company, a solution about customer support, let's say. Like, would it be able to build an environment where the LLM can answer in voice? It can validate if the customer is actually the one that's requesting the support and such.
Yes.
Say I call IPCO, for example, and I want to change my plan. And based on all the data that IPCO has trained on the LLM, can an automated voice answer all my requests and validate that I'm actually the owner of that phone number and subscription and such?
Yes, it will be almost the same scenario all the time. So what even Microsoft have example on their Git where you can create your own telephony service which is connected to some model, to LLM or just a simple model. but yeah, it will be the architecture will be always the same. The data gathering tool or aggregator, data aggregator like Starburst and ML service. Not LLM, but ML. Yeah. Same
I
as
think there are also there are a couple of solutions. I just met a company last year in Munich. Last week in Munich, I was in the summit, strategy summit. So there is I forgot the name, a small German company, Bremen, who build bots especially for call centers, for example. They may be way much farther than building something own. But yeah, nothing is perfect. So there are, it depends on the use cases. Solution from them to maybe, as an example, there are a lot of others also. I just have them in mind from this event last week in Munich. Or if you have another restrictions and so on, and you want to build it on your own, then of course you have to build it on your own by using the cloud. But yeah, like always, like a good lawyer will say, it depends.
Yeah. So here in this diagram, you can see bot services. That's also the one that the interface that you can use to interfere with the connect to your telephony server from Microsoft as well.
Any other question? No. It's early for lunch, man. It's 11:20.
Thank you, Boris.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. I hope we learned a little bit something new. Yeah, thank you also to the remote joiners. So we are closing the event, the meetup. Philip, thank you for staying with us.
Goodbye. Have a good day. See ya.
See you. Bye.